Good morning and welcome to Coach's Corner on this second Saturday in April, and means we're just a week away from the Bronco Athletic Hall of Fame induction ceremony. Again, in case you aren't aware and you're still thinking about attending, we are sold out with tickets. I would have the ability to be able to put you on a waiting list, but next week, of course, we'll have our annual Hall of Fame show, and we'll be joined by Hall of Famers Dick Ostrud. We'll also be joined by Jim Glowak, and we'll be joined by Pete Fitchuk and a couple of members of the 1962 hockey team in Glenn Blummer and Matt Donahue. So you're not going to want to miss that show next week. It's going to be very exciting. And, of course, it's a busy day here. We start with Coach's Corner here. We're going to go to a remote from 10 to noon from the Outdoor Expo over at the Evangelical Covenant Church this morning from 10 to 12. And, of course, we were hoping that we were going to have Twins baseball on this afternoon, but we'll have to wait and see. I haven't heard anything official as of when I was on my computer here about an hour ago. They had not canceled it, but they were about 99% sure with the snow and everything that game is not going to go on today. So that's the schedule going on this morning. Of course, there's really no local sports going on with the weather. Everything's been postponed. My list of games of postponements is growing, and things that have not been rescheduled. It's going to be a very interesting spring. You're going to have to stay tuned and keep track of what's going on. Last night in the game heard on KGHS, 12:30 a.m., the Minnesota Wild were up in Winnipeg for Game 2 of their best-of-7 series against the Jets. And I'll say it this way, folks. I thought the Wild played even with a very good Winnipeg team through the first period. And then after the first period, the Jets took it to another level. I don't know that the Wild dropped their play off very much, but the Winnipeg Jets picked up their play, and they just absolutely took over the hockey game. It was only 1-0 after the second period, and it kind of gave you hope that the Wild were going to be able to hang in there, but the Jets took it to another level. They got a couple of goals before the halfway point of the third period to go up 3-0. They added one later on to go up 4-0. Zach Parise did score on the power play with 45 seconds left to cut the deficit to 4-1, but that was the final score as the Wild now trail 2-0 in this best-of-7 series. And there are a couple fights at the end of the game last night. Boost Brojo said, I saw in the paper this morning talking about now maybe the other team hates the other team, and that's a pretty strong word, but you have to, he obviously was saying the Jets have come with an attitude towards the Wild, and the Wild did not have that same attitude back, and he's kind of hoping that I know some people were saying maybe too little too late with the fighting late, but maybe you got to take a look and see if the Wild can make things happen. Game 3 tomorrow night, 6 o'clock, pre-games on KGHS, 12:30 a.m. to start right around 5:45. In the other NHL playoff games last night, Philadelphia bounced back. They got absolutely demolished by the Penguins, 7-0 on Wednesday night. They come back, win 5-1 in Pittsburgh to even that game at a series apiece. Also last night in Las Vegas, the game, of course, gets started late because it's on the out west, but it ended even later as the game went to double overtime. It was former Gopher and former Wild player Eric Halla who scored at the 15:23 mark of the second overtime, so nearly 5 periods played last night as Vegas defeats LA 2-1 and now leads that series by 2-0. What's happening around the dial today, and that's basically what we're talking about. Again, the Minnesota Twins supposed to be playing at 1:10, 12:40 pregame show on K104, but again, I'm pretty sure that game with the snow and the weather in the city's area is going to cancel that. Just no way that game, and maybe even tomorrow's game, may be in jeopardy. They may not be able to get that field cleaned off in time. The Minnesota United soccer team, they're out in Portland tonight for a 9:30 contest. NHL games today, you can keep your remote maybe idle in one spot if you're a hockey person. This afternoon you might be a little busy because Colorado is at Nashville at 2 o'clock, that game on NBC. The Predators lead the series 1-0. New Jersey's at Tampa Bay. That game's going to be on CNBC at 2 o'clock. The Lightning lead that series 1-0. Tonight on NBC, Boston hosts Toronto as they lead 1-0. And then the late game on NBC Sports Network, the Sharks leading 1-0 in Anaheim. That game, too, takes place at 9:30 tonight. NBA playoffs get started today. San Antonio at Golden State, that's the 2 o'clock game. Washington at Toronto at 4:30. Miami at Philadelphia at 7 o'clock. And the late game, New Orleans at Portland at 9:30. And, of course, the Minnesota Timberwolves making the playoffs for the first time in 14 seasons. They get started tomorrow night, Sunday night, at 8 o'clock in Game 1 in Houston. Of course, Houston, the number 1 seed overall in this playoff series, playoff action, as they believe they ended up with a 65-17 record. Sticks in my mind for some reason, I think, is what they ended up. But they were far and away the best team in the regular season. The Timberwolves will have their hands full, and to be brutally honest, if they win one game, I'll be probably surprised. I fully expect that Houston will sweep the Timberwolves out, but they made it. And for the naysayers out there, that's a step in the right direction. The Twins will be playing Chicago hopefully tomorrow at 1:10. You can hear that game on your home for the entire season on K104. And we mentioned that the Wild will be on tomorrow night, 6 o'clock against the Jets. Let's hope that the Wild can get their act together and get things going. Our local Broncos that are playing at the next level in college this week. Lexi Erickson was at a meet at Hamlin. She took 8th place in the high jump. Wyatt Ulrich, they played a doubleheader with St. John's, played a doubleheader against Gustavus on Wednesday. Wyatt went 1 for 8 in the game, and the split of those two games as they got their MyX season started. They're scheduled to have 3 doubleheaders this week. They're supposed to be playing Bethel today, but again, with the weather down south, I would suspect that game in doubt, or that doubleheader in doubt. Savannah Olson with the Bemidji State track and field team. She was in Sioux Falls to take part, but they got rained out yesterday, so she did not get to participate. St. Scholastica will be in Mankato on Wednesday, and Amy Orrin with the UW River Falls track and field team. She'll be in lacrosse on Thursday and Friday. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back, and we're going to talk girls golf, and we'll do that in our next segment. You're listening to Coach's Corner, live from Hardee's on K104 and online at rjbroadcasting.com. Welcome back to Coach's Corner, joined by members of the girls golf team. We're going to talk boys in the next segment, so we're going to see if we can talk golf, and maybe that will change the weather, because we've talked track and field, we've talked baseball, we've talked softball. None of those have been able to break this weather. Maybe we can break it here with new head coach Tony Casaretto, and also Maggie Roeder, Kenzie Wenberg, and Morgan Rasmussen, and Olivia Wright, all juniors. That's a good sign, right, Coach?
That's a great sign.
That's a great sign. Of course, in case you've forgotten, and it's been a while. They're the 2-time defending section champions, so we're going to start by that, and hopefully, is that good pressure or bad pressure, Coach, to have that hanging over this group's head?
I actually think it's good pressure. To this point, the girls come in, they're confident, and I think they want to build on their success of the past couple of years and keep moving forward.
All right, I'll give you guys a chance to answer that question. Maggie, is it good pressure or bad pressure? Whoop, hang on. Wait a second. We got to check. It came apart right there. Try again.
It's good.
No, it's still not good. It's still not good. We better go ahead. You keep trying that.
On this one?
Yep, go ahead.
It's good pressure. You get a little nervous, but I think the nerves are good to have.
I remember playing football and whatever else. It seemed like when you got that first hit in, everything was good. Is it kind of the same way with golf?
After the first hole.
After the first hole, not the first drive?
Yeah, first hole.
Kenzie, you're shaking your head. No, you don't agree with that? It stays nerve-wracking?
The whole meet is nerve-wracking.
You never calm down?
No.
No? Why not? What makes it so tough?
Every shot.
Every shot? Well, it's good to have some of those nerves, right? I mean, I'm sure, as I'm trying to figure out what is wrong with my microphone, I'm puzzled because, well, we'll just have to deal with it. So, Morgan, is it a good pressure?
After the first hole, it gets better.
And why does it take till after the first hole? I would think that first drive, if you get the drive off, then everything kind of, or
After the first hole, there's less pressure because everyone's done watching that was up there.
So you don't want people watching you while you golf?
No, too scary.
Do you want people watching you while you play hockey?
Yeah.
Yeah? That's different. Apparently I don't know why that's different. Olivia, is it nerve-wracking up on the first tee, and then the second tee it's totally different?
I'm pretty nervous the first couple holes,
Okay.
but after that, it's good.
Is there a course that maybe is more nerve-wracking, more whatever, that maybe that those ill feelings don't go away for a while?
Yeah, the quarry's pretty scary.
And the quarry, just because it's so long, so narrow, what makes it so
It's just hard.
It is just hard. There's probably no other way. And of course, the quarry is where the sections take place. So is that a good thing, Morgan, that the sections are there? If it's that difficult to play at, is it good that it's a true test to try to get to the state meet?
Yeah, because then it's more difficult. Then we'll be more prepared for the state meet.
Are there similarities, and you guys have had a chance to play in Jordan now for a couple years, Kenzie, are there similarities between the quarry and the course in Jordan where the state meet is held, or are they very different?
They're different, but kind of the same because they both have a lot of stuff to get into.
Yeah, I agree. I actually have never been to the quarry, but I've been down to Jordan for many years. And what maybe is the number one thing, Maggie, that you see in Jordan that makes it difficult to play at, makes it such a challenge?
Well, in Jordan, on many of the holes, you have to lay up, which gets tough because you get nervous hitting over all that stuff. And
yeah, the water, that river that seems to keep winding. I don't know how they got that river to wind through there so many times. I'm thinking, let's see, I'm gonna do the math here now. 1, 2, 3 down the hill, right? And you come back around and you play around that river on 3, 4, 5, and I think 6, and then back up the hill. And of course 6. I'm telling you, Coach. Have you ever been to Jordan? When I watch hole number 6, and I'm not even playing, I'm nervous about that river. That thing seems to like suck the ball in there. I don't know what it is. It just like has magnetism or something. So it's a little scary. You guys have been in the Falls L gym now for what? Almost a month? 3 weeks?
Roughly a month now.
It's getting old. But what are the number one things that you can work on in the gym?
Well, we're working on putting, chipping, and we're taking different irons off the mats there into the net. And the one thing I think we're doing, making a competition. They keep scorecards for themselves, and so each day they post a score and they make the circuit there at different stations, and then hopefully they have something to work on. They can see which clubs they're scoring high and which ones are scoring low, so they can work on those clubs. They can also try to improve on their score day to day, so there's a bit of a competition factor when they walk in rather than just kind of a monotonous routine, And then we kind of set it up as a driving range one day so we can see a little ball flight across the gym. And finally here got outside was Thursday and hit some foam balls out there in the parking lot. So we're trying to mix it up.
Maggie, is there a club that is working really well for you right now, at least as far as till you get outside it's different, but is there one club that you pick it up and you go, I'm going to hit this ball really, really nice?
probably my 7-iron.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about the one that you need to work on?
I don't know. I can't really tell so far.
Okay. Kenzie, how about for you? Which one's really working nicely for you?
Everything's been the same.
Everything's been the same. Good? Has it been really good? It's been the same. Has it been good? Bad?
Decent.
Decent? Okay. How about for you, Morgan? What are you seeing?
My 7-iron.
Well, the 7. Olivia, is it going to be the 7 when it gets over to you?
No.
No. What's working well for you?
Chipping, probably.
Chipping. Okay. That's always, what they say, your short game, you got to make things happen there. What guy, if we get to a meet now, seriously, if we get to a meet before heavens knows, where are we looking most forward to playing this season? Olivia's thinking about it. Oh, Morgan, you got an answer? Where are we most looking forward to playing?
Maybe like the quarry.
Get back there and get some more rounds in. Kenzie, how about for you?
Yeah, the quarry.
Quarry? Maggie?
Yeah, the quarry.
It is the quarry. That has a lot of good memories there. You guys get a chance to be in the East Range Conference. You guys get a chance to hold up a conference championship trophy at the end, and I know you got to do it last year. Did you guys do it 2 years ago? My memory is not serving me well right now.
Yeah.
We're thinking so. That's another one of those things that kind of is out there. Who's going to be the competition for the East Range Conference, and does that translate also into Section 7-2A?
Yeah, I would say Evelyn.
Evelyn? Mm-hmm. They got a young team, a veteran team. Tell me about.
They're all about our age or younger, so.
Okay, so the competition will continue this year.
Yeah.
And theoretically for next year. Kenzie, is there somebody else out there, maybe in Section 7-2A, maybe that's also out there that's going to be your competition when the section meet comes around?
I don't think so.
Okay, so this is a two horse race. Is that what they're telling me, Coach? Is that what your math tells you as well?
We talking section level?
Yeah, we're talking section.
I think it's yeah. Based on what I've been told so far and looking back at what they did last year, that's the way I understand it. We got to look out for Hermantown, right?
What about Hermantown?
They have 3. They don't have a.
They've got 3, but they don't have 4. Is that what you're saying?
So they
Nate?
can't fill out that 4. Okay, yeah, so it's Eveleth.
It's Eveleth. So is there? Do you guys like try to psych the other team out some way? Do you guys walk up and have like a song that you guys are playing? You guys because obviously, well, some hockey players and whatever else. I mean, is there some way you try to psych the other team out, or is that you just got to go out and golf, Maggie? What?
Just go out and golf. I mean, we're friends with all of them, so just go have fun and do your best. I guess.
So it's friendly competition. There's no. Is there a team out there that kind of grinds your gears though? Is there a team out there that you see them walk on, you're just like, we got to beat them. We got to no.
Well, yeah, Evelyn.
Probably Evelyn. What's it going to take? Because you guys obviously, the 4 of you, who's going to be 5 and 6? Who else is going to be on this team that's gonna push somebody? Who's going to be 5 and 6, Coach, on this girls team? Because obviously you get to put 6 out there for the varsity. So talk a little bit about that, because you're giving me a look, and you must mean that I'm asking a bad question.
No, it's a great question, actually. Kira Asen is going to be, working extremely hard, and she's very excited. She sees the leadership that these guys demonstrate every day and the game that these girls have, and she's going to work really hard to try to get up to that level at their age. So she's got really good role models.
Okay.
And then we just brought Amelia Davis in. I mean, she's never played before, but she's working hard at it too. Currently in Florida. Hopefully she's playing some golf down there. So we got a couple girls in the program, but we need to get more. And I guess this is a call for any parents listening out there. It's a great game. It's a lifetime game. It lasts long after high school is over. So it'd be fun to get some younger kids in the program.
Well, and I'm thinking about the junior program that's been going on out at the golf course, out at the river with Tom O'Connell. And it always seems like there's tons of kids out there. But are they mostly boys?
I had one conversation with Tom here about a week and a half ago, and he mentioned the numbers are good through the summer months. I don't know if they have commitments other than golf in the spring here. Maybe they're in track or baseball, little leagues, things like that. I'm not sure, but we're out there, and I've talked to these guys to mention it in the hallways and do what they can too to recruit. But going forward, that's going to be a main mission of mine.
Is that something that you guys, Maggie, would feel comfortable doing, going out and grabbing hold of a 7th grader and saying, hey, we need you to come out and golf? Is that something you feel like you'd like to do?
Yeah, just get more girls in it.
So is there? How do you lure them in to play golf? What makes you guys like to golf? What is it about the game that you guys like rather than playing softball or being part of the track and field team? What is it about golf that makes it? Oh, Rasmussen says, I got this one. Here, let's.
I think because it's more of like an individual sport.
Okay. Then it's kind of on you, and then.
Yeah, you just worry about yourself, and you don't have to really worry about others.
Well, ladies, I wish you the best of luck. Getting on to a course soon to play some golf and actually get out there and compete. And hopefully we can have you guys on here in late May and early June to talk about going to the state meet. Coach?
Just want to add one thing, that this group of girls right here, these 4, are phenomenal golfers. You can tell that already in the gym. And they have excellent form, and they work really well together. They're a very cohesive group. And I think anybody in the community would be proud of them to come out and watch them here at our local meet and so forth. They're going to have an excellent season.
Wednesday, May 9th, right?
Exactly.
Olivia Wright, Morgan Rasmussen, Kenzie Wenberg, Maggie Roeder joining me here. Coach is going to stick around when we bring the boys on. So, ladies, thanks for being here, and best of luck as you go throughout the season. We're going to take a break, and we'll come back and we'll talk to the boys. You're listening to Coach's Corner, live from Hardee's on K104 and online at rjbroadcasting.com. Welcome back to Coach's Corner for our third segment, joined by the boys golf team now. Head coach, as I mentioned, Tony Casaretto, still sitting here. Josh Can. Oh, yeah, Sammy Maxwell. I remember your name. I don't know you very well. And Nick Tanner. Hey, just in case you're wondering, I've had Sam in class for the last 4 years. I mean, I get to see Sam about 175 times a year, so that's a good thing, by the way. That's not a bad thing. So, Coach, the boys in there, in with the girls, practicing all at the same time. is it kind of organized chaos? Because when I walked in the gym the other day, I was kind of like, oh boy, there's lots of stuff going on, and a lot of clubs being swung around. You better watch where you're walking.
These kids are within less than a foot in some cases there with clubs on their backswing.
Josh Can has a mark right above his left eye. Apparently that is exactly what happened. So
yeah, Olivia Wright getting whacked.
Olivia Wright got a hold of you. Well, what'd you let her? What'd you say? What'd you do?
Oh, we have a golf meet the day of prom, and I told her I might be a little bit late for prom, and she didn't like that. She gave me a little whack above the eye.
There you go. That'll learn you. There you go. Okay, that's how things kind of go. Is it different with the boys practicing with the girls in the gym? I mean, when they get out on the course, they're all over the place and on the driving range, and you kind of maybe separate them. But here they're all mixed up. Does it make it difficult?
Actually, it doesn't at all. You know,
Okay.
they work really well together, and I was really impressed. We got 28 kids in that little gym with the mats and equipment out, so there's not a lot of room to move around, especially when you have your target set out there. So they actually move very fluid and work very well together. Fun group of kids, 8 through 12. Yeah, they're all 7 through 12. They're all doing a great job.
Have you guys really been, Josh, itching? I mean, is it just kind of getting crazy that you can't get outside and hit one 300, scrape it down the middle?
I don't know about 300. That's Nick on the end there. He's a long bomber. But, you know, after about 3 weeks in the gym, it gets sort of repetitive, but you just got to grind through it with the weather the way it is. You know, you wish you can get out. But we went out on Thursday, and we're hitting limited flight balls. And that's kind of nice, you know, get to see a ball go through the air. And hopefully next week we can get out in the football fields and hit balls in the air and see how that goes.
Sammy, I know you've been heading down to Big Fork, I think. You and
yeah,
Nick.
there's a simulator down there at the golf course. Me and Nick have been playing a few times. It's nice to be able to get in somewhere and take full swings and see how the ball is reacting. Obviously, it's not exactly how it's going to react out on the course, but it's a pretty good representation.
So tell me, if you guys, whoever wants to take this one, hitting it into a simulator, is it? I mean, do you have to train your brain? I've never done it before, so I don't know a whole lot about it. Nick, is it different? Do you take a different mindset?
Really, you shouldn't take a different mindset, but it's pretty the same thing. You know what you're looking for in your shot, so you can tell usually by the flight if it's a good shot or a bad shot.
So is this something, Coach, that you're thinking we got to get a simulator here in town so the guys don't have to drive to Big Fork?
You're reading my mind here on that. Booster Club, let's go.
So if anybody's out there and you want to, were you telling me, Sammy, about the price of the simulator, or was somebody else telling me? All right, what is it? How much? What do we got to raise?
I think a decent one is several tens of thousands of dollars.
Several tens of thousands. Wow. That's a very
it's a math term after 4 years in your class.
After 4 years. Several tens of thousands. Not many, several. Yeah, anyway. You know, this. I know you guys are supposed to be playing at Brainerd on Thursday and Friday and whatever. I mean, at some point you're going to get out there, you're going to get a chance to play. And I asked the girls this question: where are you looking most forward to playing? Because to me, it might be the same answer as the girls, but to me there's a course out there that kind of meets your eye, you know, that you enjoy playing. Where is that at, Josh?
My favorite course is probably playing it's a Virginia invite, but it's at Fortune Bay.
Okay.
Playing there, it's a very fun course to play.
What is it about that course there that makes it fun?
Yeah, well, I mean, one of the nicer courses in northern Minnesota. Between that and the Quarry, they're probably the two nicest courses that we play all year, and it's just fun to play there.
Sammy, how about for you?
It's pretty much between the Wilderness at Fortune Bay and the Quarry for me. I love both of those courses. They're both challenging in their own unique ways, but both of them just catch my eye really nicely, and they're just fun courses to play. They're demanding of you. You got to hit all these different shots off the tee, different shots into the greens, and the greens are pretty demanding as well. It's just a nice challenge for me.
Nick, how about for you? Where do you enjoy playing the most?
For me, it'd be not the Quarry. Never shoot well there. Probably have to be the Wilderness at Fortune Bay. It's just a really nice course to play in.
And I mentioned this with the girls, and I'll mention it with you guys. The Quarry is where the section meet is at. So does that make it more difficult, Nick, to have to go play there for the section meet?
No, it's
No.
a challenge, what you should have for a section meet. So
I'm sure you guys probably watch the Masters over this past weekend, because it's not golf, it's the Masters, as I try to tell everybody. Coach, I'll start with you. Were you cheering for somebody in particular, or do you just like
I was
watching?
cheering for Ricky Fowler to
Yeah?
pull it out there at the end. I like the run that Spieth went on, though, to put some pressure on. You know, you got to feel good for the champ, though, too, Patrick Reed. Honestly, he doesn't have a lot of love out there, and I don't understand why. I'm not sure. I haven't followed him that closely, but you know, in the end, you see his wife walk out there and they celebrate, and, you know, brought a smile to my face. I always like to see a young kid do well.
Yeah, it's kind of scary that the Masters, you know, you always think, well, that's got to be your best golfers, whatever. They've got 4 first-time champions, first-time major winners the last time. How about for you, Josh? What is it about the Masters that makes it the Masters, I guess, is the best?
Sunday afternoon at Amen Corner, I was watching, and when Jordan Spieth on 13 hit his second shot in there over the water, and it went to about 12 feet, and I called Tom O'Connell, the PGA pro at our golf course, and right when he answered the phone, the first thing he said is, "Did you see that shot?" And we talked, and I said if he makes that putt, that's going to change it there. He ended up making birdie, but you know, Patrick Reed, I'm glad he won, you know, Captain America, carried the U.S. team to the Ryder Cup win this year at Hazeltine, and I was glad he could win.
Because you're describing it so well. You must have heard Nick Faldo's comment about that Jordan has to know that this putt does not break. He has to know that. And didn't know it. Is that... But, I mean, he's only played in the Masters, 5 times, 6 times? Is he supposed to... Is somebody supposed to know that? I mean, Nick's only been going there for, 40 years? He better know. Yeah. But, you know, it's a little bit different. How about for you, Sammy? What is it about the Masters?
It's just the whole atmosphere. Everybody's it's all hyped up for the Masters. Augusta National is one of the top courses in the country. It's just a great venue for a big golf tournament. And it's just, I don't know, I can't really put my finger on it. It's just something about the tournament. It's just special.
It is. Nick, how about for you? Is there some maybe hole that you kind of makes it what it is? I don't know.
Hole, probably not, but like Sammy said, it's the atmosphere of it, just how everyone hypes it up for the Masters, and you get to see all the top golfers out there, and you can see them struggle and have to make those shots over and over again, and it's...
I was talking with my uncle probably after the Masters was over, and we were talking about, he was saying that 17 and 18, they're so blah. There's nothing to them. But yet, how many people do we see bogey 17 because of the green? How many of them bogey 18 because you got to make it around the corner and whatever else? And he was saying, well, they're too easy. Are they too easy?
After talking to Spieth, I'm sure, that last limb of that pine tree got him.
Wow.
Huh? Yeah, it's a pretty narrow pipe you got to hit that ball through.
Well, and I think that's the thing. You know, you watch it on TV and it looks like it's, you know, forever wide, but you know that it's pretty tight. I mean, would you, and I'll give you all a chance to answer this question, would you like to see them make 17 and 18 harder so that it's more difficult, or are they should just be left alone?
I think we can leave them alone for the time being until we see a larger scoring differential on those holes. But I think the back 9 is already pretty challenging, and Amen Corner is kind of where it's made or broke. On a Sunday afternoon, that's the stretch you really got to nail.
Josh, how about for you? Like to see them changed?
I'd agree with Sam. You know, you got to make. The players are still making bogeys there, and it comes down to playing the course. And you know, when they talk about during the Masters, talk about Bobby Jones and how he made the course and how it's so mentally demanding. You got to play the course, and that's why I thought Patrick Reed did so well. Like in his interviews, he said, you know, I'm not going to go out tomorrow and play Rory McIlroy. I'm going to go out and play the course. I'm going to play my game. So that's what you got to do as a golfer, is play your game.
How about for you, Nick? Is it something that you'd like to see something changed, or is it just leave it alone?
No, you probably should leave it alone. Like Sammy said, with the Amen Corner there, you see people going 3 over, 4 over through those stretch of holes. So it's, it may be easier than those first couple holes, but you got to have it a little easier.
It seems to me that you can go low and you can go high all on the same hole. Look at 12. How many people get birdie there, but also take double because they drop it in the water? It's something. I think Sergio would like to see them change the 15th green, though. Would you guys? See, I know I could get a chuckle. In case you don't know, Sergio took a 13, put 5 in a row on the in the water in front of the green on 15, and putting all that spin on that ball.
There wasn't one bad shot in the bunch, actually. That's
No.
what he said afterwards in the interview.
He actually said I hit some really good ones. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, end up in the water. All right, who we've got these three guys here: senior, junior, sophomore, freshman, 8th grade, freshman only.
Freshman.
He's been around forever. That's why
Feels that way too.
It does.
And that beard, I mean, it's deceiving.
You're right. That maybe is what it is. It's the beard. Anyway. So what? Who else? Who's going to fill out this roster? Who else are we going to have on this team? And you said you've got 28, and you only talked about like 6 or 7 girls. So it must be like 20 boys.
We got a lot of kids involved in 7th and 8th grade boys. But as far as making out, Josh here is going to be a definite leader. These three are great. I mean, they have great form. They're working extremely hard. But helping them out will be Ethan Ullman.
Yep.
He played in a couple meets last year. Gus Lawrenson, he was a regular member of the varsity team last year, and he's looking good in practice as well. You got Mitch Nemec, is a nice golfer, working hard too, loves the game. He's a little hockey commitment too going on right now, so he's kind of double dipping there for a minute. But Logan Phillips, Cole Fish, Miles Mason is a kid to watch too. Miles is working real hard and loves the game, and fun to see his development. Yeah,
those names that you mentioned are names that I've been watching through the JV or junior high meets through the years. So is it something, Josh, that this team has a chance to compete for, first we talked about with the East Range Conference Championship, and what's with Section 7-2A? Where does this team have a chance at?
It comes down to consistency. We lost 2 good players last year, Brady Wright and Josh Millette. And if we can just go out and everyone play 2 consistent rounds, that's what's going to take to go to state and win the conference.
Who's the big team out there in Section 7-2A, Sammy? Do you know who the team to beat is?
I'm thinking Virginia. Virginia and Greenway are our big rivals. We always like to beat them on our cards and in the meets.
Yeah, I would say Greenway definitely one of those teams out there that you got to look out for. Virginia. Anybody else, Nick? That you guys got to maybe play against some of the younger guys over the last couple of years. Is there a young team that's coming up that's going to be pretty good?
I don't know really, but I would say, yeah, it's Virginia. That's just a big challenge for us.
Guys, thanks for being here this morning. Wish you guys best of luck. Again, as I told the girls, first for getting out onto a course to actually play some golf, and then as the season rolls along, and hopefully once section time comes around the end of May, we're talking about a hopeful trip to state. Thanks for being here. Head coach Tony Casaretto, Josh Can, Sammy Maxwell, and Nick Tanner joining me here. We'll take a break. We'll come back and we'll wrap it up. You're listening to Coach's Corner, live from Hardee's on K104 and online at rjbroadcasting.com. Welcome back to Coach's Corner. I want to thank all my guests this morning, both the boys and girls golf teams joining me here. And again, hopefully they'll be able to get out onto the courses. And of course, new head coach Tony Casaretto. So best of luck to them. Let's talk about the week that was. Last Sunday, the Fort Francis Lakers taking on the Dryden Ice Dogs in the SIJHL playoffs, trailing 3-1. And boy, Dryden finished off the Lakers in a big way, 10-2. They scored 3 times in the first 5.5 minutes and then rolled to a 10-2 win to eliminate the Fort Francis Lakers from the SIJHL playoffs. On Monday, a nice honor, and this came from a little while ago, but kind of became public over the weekend. Rainy River Community College head coach and athletic director Mel Merlebrun was recognized by the National Junior College Athletic Association, the NJCAA, with her service medal for 15 years of service in her many roles, including the assistant region director for women's sports in Region 13. She'll be retiring from Region 13 service at the end of this year, and Mel has obviously been a big force at Rainy River Community College, and I want to thank her for everything that she does, and very, very well-deserved award for Mel Millerbrun. On Tuesday, Deja Monroe from the women's basketball team, she was named 3rd team All-American for the NJCAA. On Wednesday, nothing going on. On Thursday, the Bronco boys and girls track teams were down in Bemidji for their 3rd indoor meet, speaking of not being able to really get out and do what they want to do. Probably the biggest mention from that meet was Emma Gilbert taking first place in the shot put. She throws 44 feet 11 inches, and you might be saying, well, how good is that? Well, 46.5 is her school record. So in the first 3 indoor meets, and of course things change when you go outside. You're throwing a little bit different, and but boy, that's a very nice throw there on Thursday to go along in that meet. Of course, coming up this week, a very limited schedule as things just have not come around. The weather, just the cancellations. Right now on Monday, International Falls softball scheduled to be at Lake of the Woods, but I got to believe that game is not going to happen. Right now, Little Fork Big Falls Vikings softball scheduled to play at home against Northwoods on Tuesday, although that probably is in danger. Rainy River Baseball scheduled to play against Hibbing down in Duluth or Superior, where they've got some artificial turf, but again, they've got the snow. They could be getting issues. Rainy River Baseball is supposed to play Hibbing in a doubleheader on Tuesday and a doubleheader on Wednesday. Fort Frances Badminton, if you're a badminton fan, they've got a high school team over there, and they had their qualifiers a couple of weeks ago, and they have their meet for the Norwassa coming up in Sioux Lookout on Wednesday. On Thursday, the Bronco girls golf team still scheduled to be in Eveleth, but again, we would suspect that won't happen. Bronco baseball at Deer River possibly could be the season opener, and Bronco softball is scheduled to be at Greenway on Thursday. Those could be season openers. Who knows? Maybe somebody will smile down on us and give us some warm weather. But what's that? Yeah, well, we'll have to see what's going to happen there. Next Saturday, the girls golf team scheduled still to be in the Brainerd Lakes area, possibly for a meet. The Little Fork Big Falls Vikings softball and the Bronco softball teams are supposed to be over in Middle River for the BGMR tournament, the big one that Little Fork has been going to for many years, and the Broncos are supposed to be going there next week. Rainy River Baseball is supposed to be at Mesabi on on Saturday for a doubleheader, and the Rainy River softball team hopefully is going to be able to take part in a 2-day tournament in Grand Rapids. That's going to wrap it up for this week's show. Again, I want to thank my guests. Thank everybody here at Hardee's for taking care of our guests. Thanks to Chad back at the station for taking care of business back there. Stay tuned. We will have live coverage from the Outdoor Expo coming up here starting at 10 o'clock and going through noon, so don't go away. We'll have that coming up for you real shortly here. But most of all, I want to thank you for listening to Coach's Corner. Live from Hardee's on K104 and online at rjbroadcasting.com.